connects.
Yeah, getting into it. Welcome to Improv for Humans with Matt Besser. That's me. Who do we got here? Andy Daly back in the saddle. Bob Dassie back in the saddle. Oh yeah, playing us in with some Lizzo. She was at Bonnaroo this year, but I missed her. Doing a little Brody Stevens in there, aren't I? So let's a little sneak in there. At Bonnaroo, but I missed her.
All access pass.
All access backstage pass. I know Judd Apatow. He was there. Humans, welcome. What a treat to have these two here. You know, I don't normally do an Improv 3 Humans, but I did one last week. Kevin Dorth, Seth Morris, two other powerhouses. You can only do it with powerhouses like these guys. Only.
Yeah, it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
non-powerhouse.
Yeah, without question. And you might wonder why all the sausage parties lately, but these women keep dropping out on me. That's all I gotta say. They get work.
Well, it's the summertime, you know. Women are busy in the summertime to an extent that men aren't.
Really? Let me know about this. What are they doing?
Women like to swim more
Bikini
than men.
wax?
That's just a fact.
There's
Yeah,
more
bikini
fashions.
waxing.
More fashions that they have to try out.
Yeah, there's a lot more.
Men, we don't have any choices.
Wait. So this woman, I won't say her name, but she can't sign on me today. You think she's bikini waxing or trying on?
She's, well, either that or she's trying on bathing suits.
Trying on
that
bathing
takes-
suits?
That takes
Months,
months. And
right?
a bathing suit doesn't even last the whole season these days. Am I right, guys?
Yeah.
So
I'm with you.
it's a lot of work.
They switch them out.
Sure they do.
Honey, can I come in now? You've been downstairs trying on bathing suits for hours.
No, I bought 50 bathing suits over the weekend. and I'm
You
trying
what?
them. Well, I'm gonna return 49 of them, or 48, or 47, or something. But you can't try them on at the store. That's
Why
disgusting.
can't you? That's what they have changing rooms.
Oh, it's disgusting. Everybody knows when you come in to try on bathing suits that they're gonna find a way to watch you, and the changing rooms have lots of little peepholes and things like that. Like, come on.
This is something that's known?
Yeah. Stores that sell bathing suits.
Excuse me,
Because
ma'am.
you're gonna get naked.
Do you want to use our dressing room for your bathing suit?
Really? You think I'm that much of an idiot? I'm gonna buy all of these bathing suits.
I mean, you can try them in our fitting room. It's really nice.
Oh, you're really pushing the fitting room. Where's the camera?
It's no, there's no camera. What do
You
mean?
almost answered.
No, there ain't no camera.
Where's the fitting room camera?
Well, you can't call it a fitting room camera just because it's in the fitting room.
What do you call it then?
It's my special eye. Look, you gonna try these out or not? You got 50 bathing suits there.
Thank you for admitting what I already knew. I'm buying all of these bathing suits.
All right. You could just try them on anyway.
So what I did is I buy them all, and then of course I wash them all. You have to wash them. I'm not gonna try out a bathing suit I haven't washed.
But once you wash it, don't we own it at that point?
It's very hard to return a bathing suit once you've washed it. That's true.
These bathing suits have been washed. I can't take them back.
Well, I had to try them on. I'm not gonna try in a bathing suit that hasn't been washed. Be reasonable.
None of these fit you?
They all fit.
Well, go try them on in the fitting room and see what happens.
Exactly
Try them on
right.
again. I'll give you one more chance.
One more chance to be filmed by your special eye?
Well, I just don't want you to leave without, I can't take these. You washed them all. I just want you to see if you can give them one more chance.
We cut to the past when this guy was getting hired. Okay, so it looks like we are gonna hire you.
Good. I like women's fashions.
Right. Well, there are no health benefits at all, I should tell you, and we have no retirement
I'm in good shape.
plan. And it is below minimum wage.
Below? Is that legal?
No, which is why you have to sign this non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah, I'll sign it. I like signing things.
But here's the deal.
Yeah.
The fringe benefit is
Here we
we
go.
do have
Come on.
a what we call a fitness room cam.
Fitness?
Never say that to the customer, but yeah, there's a fitness room cam, and you can watch all the ladies and men if that's your thing. Change into bathing suits, and we have no problem with that. We consider that a big perk of the job.
Wow. Well, that's kind of perfect because
Yeah.
I don't really like health benefits as much as I do like looking at healthy people.
Right. Health benefits implies a negative future.
It
doesn't
does. Like maybe we're all sick, right? I'm not
Exactly.
sick.
Let's not think about that.
I want to work at a bathing suit place because I want to see attractive, healthy people try on clothes and get naked.
A year later, I don't know what to tell you, Bob. We can't guarantee that they will change in the rooms.
That was. I was sold on that benefit. I was told that they were going to be people in rooms dressing. I signed a minimum wage. You know how little
the
I'm
word
making?
is starting to get out of what's really happening in bikini changing rooms.
Excuse me, I'm here to try on some bathing suits. I want to be in the special room.
Why are you making eye contact
That's
with me?
what I want to be in the special room, and I've got all these bikinis.
There's 100 bikinis.
5 minutes later, we see him in the special room.
Yeah, you like that? Yeah, you like the way that one looks on me?
I do. Can he hear me? He can hear me, right?
No, he can't hear you.
All right, well, good. All right, well, that's not his color, though.
Now I'm gonna try on the polka dot one and see what you think of that.
She's got too many dots on him already.
And scene. That's what's happening, folks.
Yeah, it's time people knew.
Are any lady listeners, or watchers, I guess, even today, commenting on that, Alan? Any comments on that? I guess I should ask for one-word suggestions at this point. Any intro questions for our guests? What do you see there, Kevin? Anything coming in? We're on Periscope.
We got
We're on
words
Matt
on Periscope.
Besser. What's the name of my account? Just Matt Besser? Just
Oh.
Matt Besser?
We got words here.
Yeah, give me some words, dog.
We got Corbin says
You think I
nice.
just wanted Facebook words?
They just started popping up. Library, dog food.
Library, dog food. Does that do anything for you guys? Library or dog food?
I got a dog.
Nice.
I feed it food. Does anyone? I feed my dog.
Oh yeah, this is interesting.
I don't know.
No.
Look,
You already know this story?
I know what Bob feeds his dog.
I
talk about
I
it.
put a lot of attention into
Cats?
what my.
Cats. You feed a cat. Almost. No, what do you feed this new dog?
Well, I'll tell you. You put a lot of thought into feeding things. If I'm going to bring a living thing into my house, I'm going to feed it good, right? I'm going to try to.
Yeah.
And so there's.
You have 2 children too, but let's.
I do.
You're
Well,
starting to worry me, but go ahead.
I started with the kids.
You feed them good, right?
I feed them good. Feed everybody good. Everybody eats good in my house. Okay.
So dog comes in.
The dog comes in and you think, well, the food that I'm feeding them is all processed and kibble and stuff like that. It's like, well, if I feed my kids fresh, healthy ingredients,
Right.
why am I not feeding my dog fresh, healthy ingredients? Right?
Yeah.
That's a major topic in food circles.
Yeah, it is.
Is it called a raw food diet for dogs? You ever heard that?
Well, I had my dog when it was alive, teeth brushed, and this holistic teeth brusher woman who came to our house to do it because we couldn't. She was too small.
She brushes all the teeth, you mean?
She wouldn't put the dog under like some dogs can't be put
Yeah,
under.
it's not anesthetic.
To
do
really
it.
do some work.
So anyway, she was telling us you got to feed it vegetables, carrots and we were like, my dog ain't eating no carrots. Like I think I even tried. My dog was like, what? I don't want this.
Our dog would eat carrots and
Yeah?
apples and broccoli, but
Avocado sometimes?
sure.
They're not supposed to
But
eat a
here's
lot
the
of it. but-
question.
Yeah.
How long do you want these dogs to live?
Oh, Andy. Andy's full of conservative opinions today.
Well, I don't want them.
Yes.
Here's the thing.
All right.
I might not want them to live forever, but I don't want them to die.
Oh.
Because that decline, the decline, that's a lot of work, right? When the dog starts to hobble and, you have to bring him outside to do the business and whatnot.
Oh, dude. My dogs last year, I carried it down the street. It was rough.
Same way. But I had a dog before, but I got
But wait a minute. So you're just basically, it gets the same meal your family gets.
No, I cook my family's food, but this dog gets more raw food, or did. I had a little terrier mix who would eat raw chicken wings like nobody's business.
Oh. Is that
Well,
healthy?
That's so healthy. For dogs, yeah, not for people. I don't
Raw.
recommend it for people. Nobody should eat raw chicken, right? But dogs,
A dog can eat raw chicken?
animals don't cook. That's one thing I learned,
That's true.
right?
Yeah.
You ever
Isn't
seen
there
them?
bacteria in raw chicken?
Their stomachs, there's something like you have to fact check this, but there's something about their stomachs and the length of their colon and all that helps them take care of that bacteria, right? It's but our stomachs, we can't. We're lucky to be alive.
Yeah.
That's why we cook food, so we don't all die, right?
Yeah.
So the dogs, they eat raw stuff and they eat it really good. And my little cherry used to chow on these bones, and bones are good. Uncooked chicken bones, they're supposed to be great for them, right?
Really?
So when we got this new dog, which is a much bigger dog, it's like a big shepherd mixed thing, and so I thought I'd do the same thing. So threw a chicken wing out there, and she just looked at me like your dog might have looked at you when you held out a handful of carrots. She's like, "What am I supposed to do with this?" And she just carried it around and brought it into the house and dropped it on the carpet. So we didn't do that much, but we do still chop up, give them eggs and that kind of stuff. Cook some hard-boiled eggs and all that. I feed my dog pretty good. It's ridiculous. It's America. I can do it.
Our doggy has the same thing for every meal, scooped out of a bag, every damn day, and seems delighted.
Delighted?
Yeah,
Really?
It does seem crazy to me to eat the same exact thing for
Think
every
about it.
meal.
Wouldn't that make you go
all the time.
crazy?
Yeah,
Right?
and he does seem crazy.
They look at you a little bit, right?
I almost feel like I could do sushi every single day.
Yeah.
Even though that's unhealthy. I feel like I could eat it.
Did you read that thing about how food's fake? About how they're mislabeling food? Did you hear that? Like where the fish is, like that you get for sushi is not the fish that it really is. Like you can never get red snapper at a sushi restaurant, so don't.
I
even order it.
just had that Monday.
You
I
did
had
not have red
It even
snapper.
had little red. It was even red.
Sure, it was red.
What
There's
the
no
fuck?
They have all these other secondary fish that nobody wants to eat, and then they label them and they throw them on your plate. It's true.
If the secondary fish are aware.
Well, if they overfish all the good fish,
Yeah.
right? But they still want to stay in business. They're going to have to be like, well, let's see if we can't pan off some of these other fish.
And you're not going to feed these secondary fish to your dog either.
No.
Primary fish only.
Only primary. I'm a primary fish guy. But there's this thing called Escobar. I think it's Escobar.
Pablo Escobar.
No, the fish. And I think it's Escobar or something like that. And it substitutes for white tuna, and it's also called the what is it called? Like the not the shit fish, but it's the fish.
Sucker.
No, it's what it does to you.
bottom feeder?
It's like it's a buttery thing, but it makes you sick. It makes your stomach. It makes you have.
Always?
I don't know about always. I can't. I'm saying it's one of the tendencies of eating
Bob
that
is
fish.
throwing out a lot of facts here.
Yeah.
Partial,
Guys, you gotta
partial
fact
facts.
check
Partial
all of
facts.
these.
It's like I've read a lot of headlines of articles, but never dove in to the whole. And then I walk
Alright,
around
let's-
with that half intelligence all day.
Let's do something on that.
Well, we've got a big load of fish today, boys.
Yeah. Take him to the market.
Well, these fish are peculiar looking.
Peculiar how?
Well, they got two faces, and they got these arms instead of fins. Squiggly things.
Two faces.
Well, they got like tentacles like octopus, and they
Okay. Maybe they're octopuses?
they got teeth. Some of them got teeth.
What kind of teeth?
Oh, almost like dentures, like an old person dentures.
They look like human teeth?
They do look like it's
We
very.
cut to a sushi restaurant. Excuse me. Yes, waiter.
Mm-hmm.
I ordered the mystery fish.
Yes.
Right. I think I might be regretting that.
Why?
I don't know much about fish,
Right. Neither do we.
but I did work in a hospital for a couple of years, a couple of summers as a
A fish
candy
hospital?
striper. No, a human hospital. And this looks like a late-term fetus.
Okay. It may be. Here's the thing.
Wait a minute, what? It may be.
Listen, it's quite possible. All that would need to happen for that would be that someone would need to throw a late-term fetus into the ocean. The
Which
situation-
probably happens a lot.
Sure.
If you're getting an abortion that late, you're probably getting rid of it.
Yeah, I would do it on the ocean. Here's the thing. We have recently been encouraged by the health department to be more honest in our menu. We've been labeling things as salmon and red snapper and super wonderful awesome special fish.
Right.
And that one was kind of okay. It was on the line. But the other ones just simply weren't salmon or red snapper. It was, we do what all
Even the
places do.
salmon, there's other fish that look like that salmon.
You can make other fish or other anything look like salmon. We all know what salmon looks, and we've got some food coloring back there.
Couldn't you have taken the teeth out of my mystery fish? Not that I want to eat this fetus at this point, but you did no effort to make it look like a fish.
This is real Monday morning quarterbacking. Yes, we could have removed the teeth, but we didn't. No sense looking back. Would you like us to remove the teeth?
No, I'm not going to eat it now. But I don't think you should call it a fish. Nobody wants to eat.
Look, if can I give you one note about serving this kind of fish?
Oh, it's really hard out there when people ask questions.
I know. I've heard some back talk about this kind of fish. Some people mistake it as a fetus.
But it's not a fetus? I didn't know what to say.
Tomato. I don't know.
Right.
I'm not gonna label the fish, okay? Because
If it comes out of the ocean,
if it's a fish, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're standing by.
Okay, good.
Well, we got a whole bunch of them. They kind of swarmed into a little area, and we pulled them all up. Big thing is, you want to take out the teeth.
Okay.
That's just. I'm not a chef. I'm not a sushi chef. I don't know one fish from another, other than all the different ones. But you want to take out the teeth of a fish that looks like a human.
Okay, great. Hey, would you like to hear about our specials? Today we have mystery fish and great news. We're taking out the teeth.
And scene. See, that was a very political scene because I didn't know whether to call it a human or not.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
The fetus.
I was about to say I will not eat a human,
Is it a human? It wasn't born.
but it was late term.
Oh, well, that's the debate. That's the debate. It's open
That's the
now.
big debate. What are the Periscope hearts saying about that?
Very political.
It's saying very political?
Someone said just in time for the Republican convention.
Are they pulling fetuses out of the ocean?
I don't know if they have addressed abortion at the.
You know what? I don't think they have either.
Interesting.
It's been
Steering
kind of
clear.
clouded over. There's a lot of other things.
So did you guys hear today what the reason for the what's her name?
Melina.
Yeah, her I can't speak to
You
it.
did settle on something, right?
Yeah, it was her speechwriter. Did you hear this?
I did. I read the statement from her speechwriter.
I did too.
Which seemed to be saying it was Melania's fault. I'm sorry. That seemed to be the subtext.
So
of
to
it.
catch everybody up, speechwriter says Melania called me over the phone when we were writing the speeches, and she read to me over the phone things that inspired her, or whatever, passages or speeches that have inspired her. So she quoted Michelle Obama's speech to her speechwriter over the phone, who then wrote it down.
Mm-hmm.
So then the speechwriter today is saying, it was my fault not double checking that was a exact quote or whatever. I guess that was her reason. Like, didn't she not know that was exactly what it was?
Sounds like quite a talent.
But what no one's addressing in the political analysis that I've watched is if Melania did that, if she's reading something that inspired her, read a quote, gave it to her speechwriter that gets that speech back, and that quote that she liked so much is in there, she knows it's Michelle Obama's quote.
Yeah.
Right.
She sure does.
That's not being said. So then she
Right.
knows that it's plagiarism more than even the speechwriter. So the biggest plagiarist is
Exactly. That's why
her.
the statement is so incredible, because it's like, I take full responsibility. I offered my resignation. It was entirely her fault and not mine at all, and I am sorry.
No, nobody else is saying that they hate Obama. I'm saying, right?
they are saying that.
Oh, they are
I
saying
have
that.
heard some
I
people
haven't seen
say, wait a minute, they're building their whole campaign on let's not have a third term Obama, and she's most inspired by his wife.
But of course, the best thing that some people have pointed out is that it is literally a passage about the value of hard work. that was stolen from somebody else that she didn't write herself.
And word is your bond, and she said in an interview she wrote it herself
No.
before it all came out.
But there's been a lot of lies that nobody seems to be.
No one cares.
Nobody
I
cares.
know. It's so funny when you think that, like, in 2012, Mitt Romney said, corporations are people. And it was, like, all anybody talked about for 6 weeks. And it, like, sunk his poll numbers for a little while. But we're just at a point where it's like any crazy thing. Things are so crazy that no one crazy thing can do anything.
And we're being forced to vote for our fear again, right? I think. And so my question is, if right now it's terrifying, right? If you're not a Trump follower, you're like going, I don't want that demon seed into the White House. So if we keep him out of the White House, what are we going to have to do in 4 years? Who are they going to shovel our way? What demon with wings is going to fly down to try to engulf Earth that we're going to have to vote for? What choice are we going to have to vote to counter that evil?
Okay, this is Mr. Scott Baio. As you know, 4 years ago, he did the best speech.
Hell of a speech.
Republican National Convention.
Oh,
we did end up
Thanks.
losing.
Thanks. Well, yeah. I mean, I believed every word I think I said. All of them. I really was. I wanted to make America great again, and I thought the Trump guy was going to do it.
It was a beautiful speech. I think what I took away from it is that you're Scott Baio,
Yeah.
and that you were speaking,
Yes.
and that you're just that right there.
Thanks. I mean,
I
that was
took
really,
more than that. I took that.
took away
In
more.
addition to being Scott Baio, he was on Happy Days.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Right. You got that too. Yeah, that was in there, wasn't it?
Don't forget Joni Loves Chachi. I was Chachi, right?
Sure.
A
sure.
short-lived sitcom, but everybody knows it.
Right, and it wasn't Chachi loves Joni.
No.
You were the one being loved.
No, I don't like women.
And Scott,
I mean,
you're like a notorious pussy hound, if I may say that.
right. I'm notorious. I love the pussy all the time with me and pussy.
Sure.
Okay. We might want to put that under wraps, but
I don't know. I don't know about that at all.
Really?
Yeah. I think the new model for campaigning is to, if that's how you feel, say it.
Should I wear a pussy pin?
Listen, I mean, if that ended up on a hat that was sold at your rallies, how did you put it?
Pussy. I like pussy. Pussy
I
pin?
don't see that would hurt you. It sets a
He
sets
says
a
I
bar.
like pussy. Now it's being repeated at a press conference as he announces his candidacy.
I want to thank you all for being here today. My message is clear and simple. I like pussy, and I want to make America pussy again. Because that's how much I like the pussy.
Mr. Baio, New York Times.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What about your lack of experience in the political arena? I believe the speech at the convention is your only dip of the toe.
Well, speaking of dipping the toe, that's what I do. I dip my toe in the pussy. So that makes me qualified to run this world because I know how to fuck. And I'm a good fucker too. I like fucking women. And only women. And you can count me on that. And I make that promise to you. And there's nothing that will be dug up from my computer that will show otherwise.
Washington Post. I feel like it's a mistake for me to even follow up on this because I feel like I'm getting distracted. But
There are no mistakes.
do you have sex with women with your toe? Is that something?
That's a great question.
Okay.
And I want to answer that by saying women and men are the only way to go, right? And if it's whatever it is that I'm putting in a woman, that's the way it should be. Not the other way around. Not the other way around. And I know how guys look at me. I know how you look at me because I'm strong, I'm young for my age, right? And I'm lustful.
A month later, we cut to one of his supporters being interviewed out in the street. The thing is, he just tells it straight. Mr. Baio, he just says, that's the way it is. You got, no matter what you stick in your girlfriend, your wife, what have yous, pussy, vagina, whatever you want to call it, that's just what it is. That is just what it is.
Is there anything that Scott Baio could say at this point that would make you not support him for president?
I don't know what he could say. I don't know. The opposite of what he's saying now, I guess. But it's just true.
Cut to a press conference. Okay, so, all right, apparently there's some leaked footage that has been making the internet rounds. Yeah, please, no photography, flash photography. It appears that I'm a man, a naked man is with me in a room full of other naked men, and what I want to clarify is that's not me. That's not me.
Well, that was you. That was New York Times. That was you.
Wait, are you saying the New York Times was me, or you're from the New York Times?
I'm from the New York Times. That was you.
I'm still standing by my message. Make America pussy again, okay? I don't care what the video says, because that wasn't me, and you could say it was me, but I can say it wasn't. So if I say it wasn't me, I'm the authority.
Why didn't Chachi love Joni? That seemed weird. New York Times.
Joni loves Chachi. Washington Post. Joni loves Chachi. We understand that.
Right.
How did Chachi feel about Joni?
Why wasn't it called Joni and Chachi love each other?
Because that's... Chachi didn't love Joni, okay? That's what you want to hear? Stop with the photography! Stop with the photography! Nobody loves Chachi! Nobody loves Joni! No.
What?
Nobody loves me!
It was a man.
What? Who's the man? They were all so many. I don't know. But I loved every second of it. And I would do it again. I'm hereby resigning from my election. Can I resign from running for president?
I thought it was a great press conference, and I'm more excited than ever to vote for him. I like the idea of having a guy out there who says, I don't want the job anymore and I'm resigning, and I think that's exactly what our country needs right now if we're going to make America pussy again. And I accept that that was him in the videotape and that it wasn't him. It was, and he says that it wasn't, and so I realize, and I understand that it wasn't, and it was not.
See? That is what people are doing, though. They just deny, they just don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear the negative stuff.
Truth is subjective, right?
What do you mean by that?
It seems like people believe very different things subjectively.
Here's the concrete example. So their campaign manager has been saying since the speech that it is not plagiarized. They are similar words. It's not plagiarized. So now their very own campaign comes out today and says, "Oops, we accidentally plagiarized it."
Right.
So it's like, how's this guy? How does he not resign now? What, Brett?
I said, how does he sleep at night? Like, because the big argument was 7% and other things like that. They're just lying.
Well, because they know that their own people who are in their corner are looking for any reason to go, yeah, anything at all. Just give them anything. Just tell them it wasn't plagiarized. She came up with it herself. It was a coincidence. Back off. Yeah. They're looking for anything. And it doesn't matter even that it changes. What's going to happen?
Who in your life do you settle with that little amount of truth? Who's in your life that someone that lies to you so much and you're just like, that's just Jim. Jim's a big liar, but man, he knows what he's doing.
My biggest personal meltdowns throughout my life, which I have, like where I've just completely lost my shit on someone in front of them, like to their face, they've all been lies. They've all been someone I can think of all of them right now.
Calling them out for lying, or
yeah, I'm like, you are fucking, and just being so positive that it's a lie that I just go like, you're really to my face going to tell me a fucking lie.
Yeah, who wants to be lied to?
And those people all were immediately out of my life.
Yeah, you don't want, it's the fool you once kind of thing. If you lie to me and I catch you in that lie, I'm going to be suspicious. And better to keep a little distance on that. But these people are all back in this lie and they're like, lie to us more. But on both sides.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
no, if you're going to say, no lying on part of politicians, you can't vote.
Right, yeah, I guess I'm expecting a lot for people not to lie all the time.
There's different kinds of lies, though.
Sure. Sure. I think that's what we're splitting hairs about. Because now we are so settled into people are going to lie to us that now we got to differentiate between the lies.
Like where do you think Hillary has lied?
Well, I'm not a fan. But hold on. Not a fan of. I'm not a fan of a lot of people, though. Let's. Sorry, I'm misanthrope. So.
Just by definition, not a fan of people.
Yeah, exactly. So, where do I think she lied? This is the thing, is because I really have pulled back from following things because I'm a little disheartened, I suppose. Which one might get? I don't know how people on the beat can follow politics because it would be so mind-numbingly.
When has she answered the question?
Answer the question.
When has she lied?
Oh. I think there's some of that lies going on with the email thing. I don't know if it's a big deal.
But what's the lie?
Well, everything she said about it.
Well, look,
Like
can
what?
Let me jump in.
Sure,
here.
jump in.
Bobby's on the ropes.
No, I don't want to come out.
I remember thinking, like, Ralph Nader was a guy who is not lying to us. He's not a regular politician. He's telling it like it is. However, when he was interviewed, like in 2000, they were like, why are you in the race? Do you think you have a chance to win? He goes, I do think I have a chance to win. That was a lie. Right? He knew he didn't have a chance to win, but it was a smart thing to say at that time, to not go out on an interview show and say, no, I have no chance of winning, but I'm running for these reasons. You don't say that when you're trying to get votes, right?
That's the
Obama-
kind of lie that I
Right.
feel like is not really a lie. Like,
Right.
you're
It's
right,
positive
it's a
thinking.
lie, but
Okay.
it's not. I have to hear
Let's
the
go
other
one
one.
step further. Barack Obama, in 2008, believed in gay marriage and said that he did not. That's a lie. So
And so did the Clintons.
Yeah.
Most Democratic politicians have gone through that.
Yeah,
like,
he didn't
I can't-
evolve on the topic. He lied in 2008 because it would help him get elected to say marriage is between a man and a woman.
Sure.
Right? So that he could get into office and help foster gay marriage.
Kick the
That
door.
was a lie. Hillary Clinton voted for the Iraq War!
All right, turn my levels down. Hold on.
Because it was going to help her not be criticized for being soft on terror and soft on Saddam. She knew that she wasn't strengthening George W. Bush's hand in negotiations. Everybody knew that. She was just
So
casting
what's
a
the
vote.
lie?
The lie is that's what she said. She said, like, oh, I saw the intelligence, and the intelligence was trumped up and told me that there was a compelling reason to go in there and ferret out these weapons of mass destruction. And also she has said that she only voted for it to strengthen George W. Bush's hand in negotiations. I think both of those things were not true. I think she could say, if I had voted against it, it still would have passed, and I would have become a target for, like, oh, she's soft on terror and she's soft on dictators and strongmen. So I voted for it to take that off the table, and it turns out that it's hurt me as much as it's helped me or more. You know, like, that would be an honest answer, I think.
Mm-hmm.
There's no room for honesty.
But just like Ralph Nader had a hard time giving the honest answer, I'm running to make a point. She has a hard time giving that honest answer. It's politics.
Honey, before I answer whether or not I cheated on you, because this is a first off, truth is subjective. We both can agree on that, right?
Wait a minute.
Let's just run past that. Right? Truth is subjective, right?
I don't think truth is subjective.
Isn't that like an
Either
old
something
saying?
happened or it didn't happen. It's objective. Either it happened or it didn't happen. And either
All
you're
right,
saying-
let's put that to the side.
I
I think it definitely is. I think Mark Twain might have even said that.
Mark Twain said the truth is
Someone
subjective?
said that, and it became like a thing.
But he was a fiction writer. It's a different situation.
He had lots of truisms, though.
Hey, I'm gonna go take a shower. Is that all right?
Sorry, who is this?
I'm gonna be in the shower.
Okay, let's get to him in a second.
We're putting a lot of things aside. Truth being subjective, the presence of that man in our shower. But okay, go ahead.
You
What's
would be
your point?
very upset if I had sex with a woman. Yes or no?
Absolutely, of course. A woman who wasn't me, yes.
Great. So, the
Very
worst way of cheating on you would be for me to sleep with another woman. Correct?
That would be cheating on me, yes.
Great.
That would be horrible.
Great. And that's the truth
And
of
that's
the matter.
that's what happened. is
Just
what you're
agree
telling
with me that the worst thing possible could happen would be for me to sleep with another woman.
Yes.
That
I
is
think
truth,
so.
right?
Well, I don't know about the worst thing possible. You could murder someone or whatever.
As far as cheating goes.
as far as cheating goes, yes.
So that's what
how I
cheating
define
is.
Cheating. Yes, that's
Yes.
how I define cheating on
Yes,
me.
I
Having
agree.
sex with another woman.
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
We both agree.
All right.
Okay.
Is that
I
what
have
happened?
not cheated with you then.
Hey, y'all got any towels bigger than this?
What are you doing here? No, those are our bath towels. Why do you need a larger towel?
Because
than
I'm
that?
taking a
They're
bath.
in the cabinets.
Oh, thanks.
Feel free to use the bubble bath too. We just got some.
Oh, I need a moisturizer from the skin.
Are you sleeping with that woman?
That is not a woman.
Hey, did you just call me a woman?
That is a man.
I'm standing here
Sorry, I'm very
naked,
confused.
naked in front of you.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, see this?
Wait a minute.
See
Now
this?
I understand what
Take a
you're
good
saying.
look.
This is a Scott Baio situation. You didn't cheat on me with another woman. You're sleeping with another man.
Sleeping with another. Remember when Clinton said a blowjob isn't sex?
It's not.
Sleeping with a man in our relationship isn't cheating, and we both had it. We both agreed on that, sweetie pie.
Truth is subjective. I'm gonna take a shower.
Oh, see, that is a quote.
That's who gave you the quote. Your boyfriend.
He's not a boyfriend. He's just a guy that I have sex with. And
I'm not
really,
a
it's
boy.
not even sex. Am I having sex when I masturbate into my hand? Is that sex?
No, that's not sex.
Then I'm not having sex right now.
Isn't a butthole just a hand without fingers?
No, it really isn't.
Think about it. Look at the grip that I use when I masturbate.
Okay.
Just make that into a solid form. Take away the fingers. It's just a butthole. Is it not? What's the difference?
I think there's a big difference.
Okay, it's
The
poop
main
coming out of it
difference-
every once in a
No,
while.
the main difference is that hand is yours, and this theoretical butthole
That's his too.
presumably belongs to someone else.
Nope, that's his too. I gave it up.
Let's just follow this out. I was a philosophy major.
I know.
If I was to have a butthole that was not part of a person, it was just the
A
butthole,
butthole that was not a part of a person. Okay.
and I had sex with it, is that cheating?
Something that you got maybe at a sushi restaurant or something like that. When you
Sure,
order
it's a mystery fish.
Having sex with them, would that be cheating?
Yeah, not attached to a human.
I would find it very disturbing on many levels.
An
It would be
autonomous
something
butthole.
that we would really need to discuss. I would be concerned. I would be upset. But I suppose it would not be cheating.
Great, so we agree that far. So it's not me sticking my dick in a butthole is cheating. That's what we've agreed on so
That's
far.
correct. It really is that the butthole belongs to a different person, and that therefore it is that person with whom you are having sex.
We
That
did
is
not
it.
kiss. We did not go on any dates. We
We didn't
never
do
said
anything.
I love you.
I'm all clean now, if that's anybody's concern.
No, it's not. But hang up the towel. Don't just drop the towel on the bed like that. That's
What?
disgusting.
I mean, I don't know where you hang it up.
On the hangers, on the hooks in the bathroom.
On the hooks.
Look, I don't know what this guy's deal is, too. All he is a guy that's wrapped around a butthole to me.
I got no personality when you think about it.
You do. It's coming through very clearly here today. We've learned a lot about you. in
A lot of
a
people
short
think
period
I'm
of time.
enigmatic. I would come and go like the breeze. I don't leave much of an impression. I do leave a depression. though.
What's the difference between this guy and that fleshlight? You know what a fleshlight is? That you made
I
me
think I know what a flashlight
throw out 3 years ago when I didn't clean it.
Again, it is because this is a person, and
Barely.
the
Think of
flashlight
me as a human fleshlight.
Remember when we went to that theme party where they hired out the caterers to eat sushi off of them like they were a table?
Yes, I remember that.
Okay,
It was the
so there we
fall
go.
Of the Roman Empire. That party was disgusting.
You didn't enjoy that? I thought you
No, I
liked
didn't
that.
enjoy that party.
Guys,
That
come
is
on.
hideous.
Our sushi is ready. Step right up to a human being.
Here
And
we go.
Oh,
Excuse
look
me?
at this. Look at this, sweetie.
Excuse me.
this is Sasha. She will be eating off of her today, unless you prefer
Sushi off of Sasha?
sushi off of Sasha. And then there's Tony over there in the corner. He's got all of the Ikura salmon eggs on his body. You pick them off like Christmas lights.
This is the
Oh
most
my God.
degrading thing I've ever seen in my life.
Why?
What are you doing to these people? These
They're
are
getting
people.
paid.
They have thoughts and dreams and ideas.
Don't judge these
And
people.
Families.
We made sure we checked them out. None of them have dreams. None of them have ideas. They just lay on the table and we eat food off of
They're
them.
being used as plates. It's wrong. If anything is wrong, this is wrong.
It's erotic. This is
The
something.
job interview to be the sushi person. And what experience have you had before this that you think would apply to this position?
I have knocked my head and fallen unconscious many times in my life. I was in construction, and so I had no control over my body during those periods, and I think that experience would probably help me.
So you're used to being prone?
I'm used to just sort of surrendering any sense of control over my body.
Okay.
And have just understanding that for the period of time that I'm unconscious, it can be used in any way. So I'm not a big guy on like, you got to treat my body a certain way.
And how do you feel about a raw sushi being all over you? And we also have an ikura position, which is the large salmon eggs.
Oh, if possible, that's the one I would want. I'm very, very partial to the large salmon egg because then it's almost like Christmas bowls.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Are all over your body, and yeah.
Well, Tony, you've got the job. Insane. Humans, what questions? Or did I only ask for? I asked for intro questions. Do we have any, Alan?
None on the news stream.
Someone asked,
Wait a minute.
I'll say it in.
Are we on the @improv4humans thing?
Yep. Someone asked, do you enjoy being an adult more than you enjoy being a child? There was another question like that, which was, what's a event in your life that, I'm sorry, I'm butchering it. Is there something that you wish you could do as a child that you can't do anymore?
Something I used to do as a child I can't do anymore.
Correct.
The thing I miss about being a child is the glorious ignorance of not, having to think about stuff. It's crippling these days.
Yeah.
Because there's just a lot of stuff going on, a lot of shit out there, and there's a lot of ways that it's getting into our heads, screens and whatnot. Where kids, they dodge all that stuff,
Yeah.
right? I think they do.
Mm-hmm. So no responsibility, or no terrible
You think the
dark
world?
information.
Maybe the world. You get a good rosy view of the world. I mean, I don't know. It's not that bleak, but it can be. You can lean to the bleak side, and I think kids tend to stay on the wonderful ignorant side of not having to weigh out.
Until you show them a Disney movie.
Yeah.
Mom,
I know.
gets all not fun anymore.
We rewatched
Frozen begins with both the parents perishing.
No, our 4-year-old, we just showed her that song because she likes the songs, and we showed her that song on YouTube, and it includes the moment where the boat simply disappears over the waves. She talks about it all the time.
It's weird.
How does she refer to that moment?
She's always like, and their parents died in a storm, and their parents disappeared in the storm, and their ship disappeared in the storm, and she's just obviously processing it, like turning it over again and again.
I think Sydney has bypassed that moment.
Oh yeah.
I don't like.
Block
the other
that.
day I was singing something. It must have been a Beatles song. 'Cause that's all that's on in the car. But it had the word die or death in it, and when I got to that,
see you die, little girl. And see you with another man, little girl. Sydney.
and I wouldn't sing that lyric because I didn't want her to know. I didn't want her to ask what that meant.
Yeah.
It's that stupid shit.
Did you ever see a movie called The Australian?
Mm-mm.
It's Ricky Schroeder and
Mm-mm.
God, the guy that was in who cares? The point is, I saw it on cable when I was a kid, and you don't consider your parents dying when you're a kid. And this movie starts out with these. They're in Australia, I think, and they're in a big RV, and they're parked on a hill, and it's mom and dad and Ricky Schroeder. And Ricky Schroeder goes out to play, and the parents start to move. He's got to move the RV, and something happens, and the tire starts spinning, and all hell breaks loose, and the RV goes over a cliff with the mom and dad.
Oh my God!
And
Jesus.
it leaves Ricky Schroeder in the outback alone.
Oh,
I think William Holden is in the movie.
If any kid could handle it, it's Rick Schroeder. That kid, Jesus.
See, he could handle it, but this guy watching it, I remember that movie. It still shakes me to my day because it was when I realized that the world as you know it could change like that. And suddenly I realized that we all could die, and it was all. I think I became an adult at that point.
But how bad is it for kids to see that happen? And that's what I'm not sure.
It's pretty bad for me.
Yeah, it's bad for you.
But I don't know. There comes an age when you process it differently than because I think my kids see Disney and they're not going, oh, no one, you guys aren't gonna die, right? They're not processing the possibility. But at some point you go, oh, that's a possibility. And again, the glorious ignorance of kids, they don't have to consider that in our wonderful,
We come
society.
to the writer's room of Frozen on that early draft. Okay, guys, I'm really liking the music.
Good.
First off,
Good.
the music is
Thank
amazing.
you.
I think
Let
it's
it
gonna
go,
make
right?
a hit.
Let it go.
Zena, Ms.
Yeah.
Vanish. So good.
Do you want to build a snowman? I can't get out of my head.
I know.
That's all Tom. That's all Tom.
Okay.
Stop it.
And I understand that the crux of the story, you have to have the daughters be left to take care of themselves. So I get that we have to have the parents die.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's got it.
Why is I can only call it the drowning scene, so long and so graphic? Let me read here.
We were ready for that question, right?
Yeah.
We're ready for that question.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Okay, let me hear.
It's all, how many
Dearest
pages is it in
one,
the script?
right now I think it's 16 pages.
16 pages
Yeah.
is the drowning itself.
yeah, we edited it down. It was
We did.
25.
My lungs are filling with water.
That's what
My
happened.
lungs, I'll never be able to say I love you again. What will happen to our daughters? They will never know the love of a parent.
Yeah. And there's a whole sequence where he is on a piece of wood, but he has to let go to get her. And then it would have been they would have had one parent.
Yeah, but he gave up his
He
life
gave up his life
because he loved his
for her.
wife more than his children. He made a
Yes,
choice.
he made a specific choice between his children and his wife.
To let those. He let it go. He let it go.
It is powerful, but this is supposed to appeal to children. So how do you think they're going to take that moment in?
Well,
Mommy and Daddy love each other more than
Yes.
they do us. They'd be willing to perish.
that is the message that I'd like to send to my children. Enough of this, enough of this bullshit. I married my wife, okay? I didn't marry my kids.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
get that because you don't know what you're getting with the kid.
No,
As you know.
no, they're wild cards. They're wild cards, and I want to know.
Spin of
Yeah.
I think it's important for children to understand that their parents might just leave at any moment,
Yeah.
depending upon their behavior.
Yeah.
And this is a story where this young girl has anger that freezes things.
Yeah.
So
Bad girl.
Mommy and Daddy might disappear.
Yeah. Unless you're good. Unless you're a good girl.
Oh wow! I didn't even see that message.
Well,
Couldn't we just have them disappear over the horizon with big waves, and it's just kind of implied that they
You're
drowned?
taking out the heart of our film, the passion, the whole
The
reason.
heart is the relationship between the two sisters.
Right. Without parents.
One thing that I've understood in my years as a screenwriter,
And he's
is
been doing it for a long time.
when you are getting a note, it's not necessarily that you don't. There's an issue there. You're pointing to those pages and you're saying
Yes.
there's an issue there, and your solution of them quietly disappearing over the waves. That's not the solution. But I understand that there's a problem,
Okay.
and we'll solve it in some way that's appropriate to the
Yes,
script.
yes.
Let me just throw this out there because we discussed this, and we also like this.
Okay.
To see them ripped apart by wolves.
Yes.
Wolves?
Yes.
Right. They
So
never
it's
make
not
it-
even a boat.
They never make it to the water.
If it's the boat that's bothering you.
I was
and
going
if
to
it's
say
the
sharks
drowning
for a
that's bothering
second,
you,
then I was
no
like,
sharks.
could be sure, but then I'm feeling very Nemo and whatnot.
Right. We don't want to go underwater. This isn't
No.
above water.
a week
what I-
later. Okay.
What do you
I
think?
gave you guys a chance.
Yeah,
and
you
I
like the new
read
draft?
the scene with now it's longer. It's
Well,
25 pages.
There was more to show.
I see the wolves keep the humans alive for some reason so they can feed on them over a period of time.
It's about the thrill of the kill.
So
These
they're
are
alive
wolves.
without their legs and arms.
Yes.
We studied wolves. We know how they act.
Yeah, they will do this. They will allow their prey to heal so that they can feed more slowly.
Right.
Because it's more pleasurable to wolves to eat something that's alive.
They like the pulse, the beating of the heart.
So they just leave its prey's torso
Yes,
in their
gradually
cave. And
eat piece
this,
by piece,
this
so
is
that they're eating living tissue. It's
Yeah.
just more enjoyable.
It makes perfect sense.
this is fascinating
Dogs,
stuff, and I feel
wolves.
like that's its own movie, maybe.
Wolves like raw, fresh meats. That's proven.
But think about children
They like children too.
seeing. No. Think about the viewers who are children watching the parent figures, limbless now, in essence being tortured by wolves and fed upon for months. Why is that important to the sister story?
I'm hearing the pushback.
Sure.
You know, we were prepared.
Yeah, I mean, our thought is that it's empowering.
How? It just sounds like you threw that out.
Yeah, I think it's empowering.
It
And
really
it's very
is.
important to empower children.
And the woman dies after the man to show that she's strong.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Well, it's on page 24.
But she does get raped by the wolf.
That
Is that
was
necessary?
Hey, we'll pull that out. That was our
And
wild
does that
card.
happen?
We were. That was our Hail Mary. We'll pull that. We'll back that one back a little bit. I mean, we'll give you that one.
How do you back it up
But
a
I'm
little
not
bit?
sure. I mean, listen, I'm not sure that's a rape. How do you define a rape?
That's true. That's true. Truth is subjective. Listen, here's another.
And see, truth is subjective. Are there any rape scenes in a Disney movie?
Oh,
I bet there has to be one.
Well, you know, of course,
Those old ones.
of the Pirates of the Caribbean
Skip from
ride.
Stone.
Right, remember that?
Scared me. Oh yeah, there is
Pirates
a
of the Caribbean
chasing.
ride. They changed it, but it used
they
to
did.
be like a comical scene of like
yeah.
pirates chasing after women.
Yes, I think there's
It
still
was
someone on a
rapey.
rapey chasing.
I think they just reversed it so that now it's a woman with a rolling pin chasing a pirate.
Oh, that's a good fix.
Running around. That'll fix it. We're invited to imagine what caused her to do that.
Pinocchio is pretty rough. There's no rapes, but there is a little bit of child abuse.
Apparently, Song of the South is all rape. No, but Song of the South is one that you can't see it anymore. It's
No.
locked away in the vault because it's offensive.
We actually talked about that on this show a few weeks ago, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I sing Zippity Doo Dah in Sydney, and I went to look up the video, and I was like, oh my. Holy shit.
I read a great biography of Walt Disney, and I heard that apparently it's a true story, that movie was just about done being edited and ready to be released, and people were saying, hey, I don't know, Walt, I'm a little worried about it. And he goes, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll invite the president of the NAACP over here, and we'll screen it for him and see what he says. And just schedule conflicts, it couldn't happen. it just didn't come together. He goes, put it out.
Put it out there.
Boy, I would have loved to have been in the room for that if it had happened. Yeah, that one didn't work.
Well, they were dark. Disney movies were definitely darker. They've kept that dead parent theme going through,
Sure.
right? Have you seen Inside Out? I know it's Pixar.
I haven't.
But it's pretty heavy movie.
Yeah.
I don't know, like it's not that enjoyable for kids. I would imagine it's hardly enjoyable for me to watch because it's so heavy.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I mean, it's dramatic and it's good. Up was heavy too.
I've railed against these things in the past.
Have you?
Yeah, I have. And then recently our kids watched The Lion King together.
I love Lion King.
Yeah, but it's brutal.
It's Hamlet, right?
It's Richard III, I think.
Sorry.
It's pretty brutal what happens to the dad early on. And our 9-year-old couldn't watch it, was hiding and screaming, and the 4-year-old had no issues. She just watched it. So now I'm starting to think different kids are different, and my response to Pixar movies all these years has been seen through the eyes of a very sensitive child, and other kids might just be like, yeah, lions get torn apart. I don't know.
I'd also imagine older kids are more sensitive than younger kids.
Maybe.
Oh yeah. And so,
But she's always been that way.
I don't know if you guys can, because my daughter is much more sensitive than my son.
Mm-hmm.
But my son is much more like my daughter can watch movies that are scary at home, but my son will run out of the room. But my son will go on scary rides, and my daughter won't touch him. People are different.
My challenge to children's filmmakers would be to make a children's movie where at no time is anyone in danger of dying.
Huh?
It's hard to do, but Winnie the Pooh is an example of a movie where at no time is anyone in danger of
Mm.
dying.
The Peanuts movie.
What's the movie about? What's the main plot?
The main plot of Winnie the Pooh, I'm not sure it has one.
That's
it kind
the
of,
point, yeah.
It kind of jumps from vignette to vignette.
They're little stories, yeah.
Yeah, they're little stories. And he's in danger of being stung by bees, and he has a nightmare where there are these creatures that are scary, but I think they might steal his honey, I think is the major threat. The biggest danger of that movie is you might get your honey stolen.
How does he talk? How does he talk?
It's like a scratchy boy. I don't know, it's like a...
It's darker.
bother.
Oh, bother.
Yeah, right.
Oh, bother.
Right, and rabbit has honey. That kind of thing. Oh, bother.
What was that guy?
He's voiced by an old guy, right?
Sterling Foster or something along those lines?
Sure.
Winnie. Winnie.
Yes.
It's Eeyore.
Oh, hello, Eeyore. Many happy returns of the morning, Eeyore.
I don't even recognize that phrase.
You're so depressed you don't recognize phrases.
Not that one. Did just read a Mark Twain quote book, though. Truth is subjective.
Did Mark Twain say that?
I think so. Did you hear about your new neighbors moved in?
Who are my new neighbors, Winnie? I mean, Eeyore.
It looks like a little tea shop is opening up.
A tea shop in Pooh Corner?
That's right, a tea shop.
Oh, that will be delightful. Do you happen to know, Eeyore, if they might happen to have honey?
Oh, actually, they were just, I just overheard them saying that they were on the lookout for honey themselves. They're looking to get some.
They're looking to get some honey.
Maybe that's them now.
Who's at the door? Hello?
Well, hello. I just moved next door and I'm looking for some honey.
Oh,
Don't mind my
do you run
appearance.
the tea shop?
Yeah, I do.
Well, Winnie loves honey. You probably have some extra jars in the back,
Well, I
right?
don't know that I would say that I have extra jars of honey. In fact, I barely have any at all.
Well, let's just say I'm charging for protection.
What do you mean?
What? You just moved
It's a
in.
rough neighborhood. I've seen a lot of things happen since I've been opening a tea shop, and I'm gonna charge you a little bit of honey to make sure it's safe. I wouldn't want anything to happen to you and your little donkey friend.
It's charging me honey.
Yeah,
Oh, great. Something's going to happen unless you give him honey.
I think you should give me the honey, buddy. You don't want any bad things to happen. There's a lot of bad things happen at night, especially at night. Yeah.
What sorts
I
of things?
agree with everything you said.
Wait.
What sorts of things?
Did you hear
happen
about that
now?
bouncing tiger? Did you hear about that bouncing tiger was jumping around?
Tigger.
It broke his tail.
What?
There's some
Tigger
guys.
broke his tail.
There's some guys got him in the back and broke his tail and can't bounce around no more.
Who would do that to Tigger?
That's what happens if you're over positive about everything.
Oh no.
He wouldn't pay for protection tax. We would have protected him. So what's you gonna do?
What are you going to do to me if I don't give you my honey?
I'm not gonna do anything. We're here to protect you. It's what you don't do. If you don't give me honey, you got no protection. You know what I'm saying?
So he ends up giving some of his honey to the new folks in the tea shop
I hate to part with it.
the next day. Well, at least we have protection now, and you do have some honey left.
Who could be knocking on the door now?
Oh, probably a mass murderer.
Many happy returns of the morning.
I don't recognize that phrase. Hey, look. We went through the honey that you gave us yesterday, and you're out of protection. So it's time for some more honey.
No.
Just give it up, Bear.
I refuse.
Fair enough. Have a good night.
Are you crazy? Are you fucking crazy? He's gonna kill you for your honey, and then he'll come after me.
But you don't understand. I love honey. Let's ask Owl what to do. Owl, Booth has good ideas.
Winnie got us in trouble.
Why are you bothering me today?
Well, Owl, a new tea shop opened up in the...
Oh, yeah, those guys are tough.
Well, in order to
Don't fuck with those guys. Don't fuck with them.
What did they do to you?
Don't fuck with those. I don't want to say. I don't want to say. Just don't fuck with them. Do me a favor, Pooh. You don't fuck with the tea company, okay?
They wanted
He's
my
squeezing
honey.
him for his.
Oh, yeah.
I refused to give him any honey.
Okay,
No.
this shit stops now, Pooh.
Well,
You gotta take this gun.
Where'd you
Just
get that?
Take this gun. I stole it from a hunter. Just take this gun, and when he comes,
Shit, that's
when
an
he,
assault rifle.
they're okay. More protection. You don't have to know how to
Oh,
use
they
it.
jerry-rigged it to take multiple rounds.
That's right. This thing will shoot non-stop. Okay.
Christopher Robin has a slingshot. Couldn't we ask him?
Christopher Robin is dead to us. Let me tell
What
you.
do you mean?
He's dead to us. He's no help. That little pussy, he ain't gonna help us. You gotta arm yourself against the tea company. Now take this gun, and when you come knocking at the door, which they will too tonight, you know what to do. I'm going back to sleep.
Thank you all. This is terrible.
Have you never shot an assault rifle before?
I never have. I think my hands might be too plump to pull the trigger.
Guess we'll have to go visit Piglet.
Hey, Pooh! Hey, what's happening, Pooh?
Have you ever shot an assault rifle?
But first, many happy returns of the morning.
I don't know what that means.
Enough with that.
Hey, come on back. We got a shooting range out back. You can try your assault rifle on our
You've got a shooting range.
We do. Don't tell my mom.
Oh, bother.
Oh, what? What does that mean?
I just forgotten to say it.
Okay, good. That's your catchphrase. You've been saying it.
It's sick. Oh my god, Diane. Holy moly. Can we crap on YouTube, Brett?
Yep.
YouTube. Yeah, here we go. Let's see. This one's just called I Walked on the Sidewalk, and Headspin is the one who submitted it.
I like that twist at the end.
I don't even know what that was. Was this poetry?
Submitted by someone other than the person who's in it?
What's your point?
I want to be careful what we say because I don't want to.
That's
offend
not the
someone who's crazy.
I imagine that's how I look like when I sing in my car. Just ranting.
He really put a lot of effort in that
Yeah.
home production.
Sure.
That's the same person in both of those setups.
You think?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
For our listeners, he cut back and forth. I think it was Central Park, wasn't it?
You know,
Between him, his silhouette, I guess, and
In the shadows.
and him in Central Park running around.
You know, it's not easy to get people to care about poetry.
I was just thinking that.
You know, not the worst idea in the world to present it theatrically, and you know, I don't know. I don't think it's great.
Well, yeah.
Low production values.
When you add the visual to the poetry, it's hard to judge the poetry just on the words alone, right?
That's true.
Which I think isn't that a major component of poetry? That it's all about the language and the words. So when he physicalizes it, leaves me wanting more.
But people have been performing poetry for a long time, have they not?
I wouldn't know. When's the last time you've been to a poetry reading?
I have never been to a poetry reading.
Come on.
I was in high school. They put on a play, an evening of high school kids reading poems.
Mm.
I have a very strong memory of the young woman who read Allen Ginsberg's Howl. It was remarkable. Like a 17-year-old girl in my suburban hometown of Bridgewood, New Jersey, going, "I have seen the best minds of my generation destroyed by Moloch, Moloch," or whatever, however that goes. Like, I don't think you're connected to the text, in my opinion. But other than that, I don't think I've ever seen poetry read aloud. I don't think so. You have been to poetry readings?
Accidentally.
Oops.
You were sold on something else?
I saw one like a year ago. I was in Fayetteville, Arkansas for a hog game, and I thought I saw a stand-up. I was just walking down their main strip, killing time, and I thought I saw a stand-up open mic going on, and so I walked in, and it was poetry. But I did watch a few people. And even watching them, as I've always been, and I'm this way about Shakespeare too, I just don't get it. And I can't tell the difference between good poetry and bad poetry. I guess I'm saying.
Yeah, it's
like I would think what we just saw was bad, but I don't know. I don't know.
It is an art form that you really have to dive in to understand what you're aiming for. And I know there's people that have done this. I happen to know through another friend of mine. A friend of mine's brother is the poet laureate in Montana.
Really?
Yeah. And that's all I can say about that, because I don't know what he does or what. I don't even know what the job of a poet laureate is.
Love to know.
Howdy, folks. Welcome to Bellini's Italian Restaurant. I'm not your waiter. I am your poet. I'll be going around to all the tables tonight. And if you want some poetry read while you're dining, I can help you out.
This is the special feature of the restaurant that I was telling you about.
You're kidding me.
Happy anniversary.
Oh, all right. I thought, is there also a musician? You know how we loved it so much when they came around the tables and they played it.
He used to be here, and we got into a little tip, and
Who got into a
so
tip?
it's him or me, and
It's a choice now.
There was a tableside poet and a tableside musician.
Yeah.
And the two of you weren't getting along?
we were not getting along. I told him all musicians are poets who need some music to back them up.
Oh, sounds like you threw the first punch.
Well, it's true.
Well, but I mean, listen, that's pretty
All
rude.
musicians are shitty poets. They're like, my words aren't enough. I got to get a guitar to do the work.
I think he's got a point. Let's save the judgment after his first poem, okay?
Scallions, stallions, medallions. Have I won or have I lost? I'm lost. Where am I, Mommy? Mommy? Daddy? Daddy, I am the dad. Son, come here now. Oink, oink, piggy, piggy. Pork for sale. Here the grease fry. Cleat, 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 cleat.
Clap, it's polite. It's polite to clap. That's
Are
great.
there pork dishes on the menu? Or was that?
No. I got a little tip about that with the chef. There used to be a really nice pork dish, but I felt like it didn't live up to my
I like the scallions medallions part. That was fun.
Scallions, stallions, medallions.
Oh, the stallions was the best part.
Do you remember when we went to Michelli's and the guy came around and sang "Oh Sole Mio"? How enjoyable that was!
The only thing I remember is when you cheated on me 14 years ago.
For Christ's sake!
That's the only
For
thing I remember.
Christ's sake! The
I'm trying-
kitchen sink! The kitchen sink!
I can't forget, and I'm trying to do something new, and you're talking about Michelli's. We're not at Michelli's.
Unbelievable.
Cheat.
Here he goes.
Wheat. Chaff. Throw it away like you tried to throw me away.
That's right.
With your lover, who you cheated with.
Didn't even know her name.
Miffed. Rift. Yes, there's a rift between us.
A chasm.
There's a rift under my bed. There's a little green man in my head.
I've heard that before.
You've heard that before?
Destroyer. Destroyer.
This isn't even original. do poetry.
Are you plagiarizing your poetry?
Plagiarism is all subjective.
He's got a point.
According to who? No, plagiarism isn't subjective.
Haven't you heard that Mark Twain quote?
Yes, I
Quote?
told you that Mark Twain quote when I cheated on you.
That's right. We had that long discussion. You talked in circles like a lawyer.
Quotes.
And here we are today,
Quotes.
celebrating another anniversary.
Totes.
Oh, here we go.
He says them with goats. Where you?
There's something caught in my throat.
There we go.
Is it an idea or is it a hair? And by hair, I mean rabbit down there, hippity hop, hoppity hip. Am I hip? Should I care? Brooklyn, Brooklyn in my hair. Thank you.
Very nice.
May I say, I don't know a lot about poetry. Are you, I don't know if you're the person to ask, but are you a good poet or a bad one? Like, I can't tell, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
To me, it sounds not great, but then again, I don't know enough about poetry.
I think you're judging by the environment. Just because he's walking table to table doing his poetry, it's like, have you ever been to the farmer's market and you see that woman typing away with her poetry typewriter?
Oh.
She makes poems?
Yeah.
I mean, how do we know?
I don't know if those are good poems or bad poems.
Who's
Well,
to
I'm a
say?
professional, so I would say that's good.
You do it for a living.
We have to trust him.
Mm-hmm. Do you take requests?
I will. I'll take a request today since you guys seem to be having an anniversary.
Robert Frost.
Oh, I'm supposed to do existing poetry by
Well,
request?
what do you mean request?
I thought you make up a poem.
Oh, what were you going to say?
Sinatra's New York, New York.
Oh, now that is a poem. Set to music. Oh, wait, he doesn't like music with his poetry.
No, do it as a poem if that's what you like.
Oh.
New York, New York, down a long, snowy path.
He's interpreting. He's interpreting. Let him go.
The long, snowy path. As I walk through it,
Get your tip ready.
I see
Works like
the
this.
footprints in the snow. Where do they go?
That's a nod to Frost.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I turned behind me, and my footprints have disappeared.
Wait.
Is Jesus carrying me?
He got religious.
Is it Buddha?
Nope.
Is it Allah?
Not second.
Is it ISIS? We are in a crisis of love.
I like that. That was
Together.
Oh.
Rape.
Whoa, what?
The end. Thank you.
Wow, it packed a punch, didn't it? Woke you up. It's time to get us.
I wanted to hear New York, New York. It's a
Oh,
heck of a town.
you can hear that
Lots of
any
something, the
time in your
batteries down,
car.
the people
Oh.
riding a hole in the
Okay,
ground.
we all know you know New York, New York. We hear it all the time.
Doesn't get
You
better
see,
than
that sounded terrible without
all
a
he
music
had,
behind it.
it's Sinatra all the time in the car with him.
New York, New York, big city of dreams. Everything in New York isn't always what it seems.
That's true. Have you been to New York?
You might be
The
fooled
Bronx is up and the battery's down.
if you come from out of town.
He was saying that thing about Brooklyn. He has a New York theme. You're just not listening to him because you don't understand poetry.
No, I don't.
I married an ignorant man.
But I'm down by law and I know my way around.
Oh, that's Beastie Boys, isn't it?
Down by law isn't a lot of raps.
Well, it's true. They're singing in the streets. Do you remember when rap was done primarily by white people? Rapture and whatnot.
Oh, uh-huh.
That's what.
Blondie?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
Changed.
They
Life.
stole it from us.
And see. New York, New York! A lot of Republicans in our seats today. Do we have any intro questions yet?
At Senor Fartface says, "What is a conspiracy theory that you actually believe?"
Oh.
At Bike Exploitation, have you ever knowingly accepted a bad deal? And at Bananas 1981, how long do you wait for the drama to unfold before you say something?
What's the second one again?
Have you ever knowingly accepted a bad deal?
I did one. I had some tickets. I had extra tickets to a Cubs game, and I forget what the deal was, but let's just say that they cost $50 each, and I had 3 of them. And some guy outside of the stadium offered me $75 for all 3, which was like half price. And I was like, I can do better than that. And walked around for a while and could not do better than that.
So came back to that guy and then offered to sell him the tickets, all 3 tickets, for $50, just of my own volition. And he was like, what? Okay. Because I felt so bad and so dumb for having thought that I could do better than him that I went back and offered him.
You insulted him, and you were like, I'm sorry,
I
good
guess
sir.
so. But he was surprised. He would have bought them for the thing that he originally offered them for. It was only like 10 minutes later.
But you wanted to avoid any sort of confrontation.
Yeah, I didn't want any.
You're like, I know.
I'm going to give you. I'm going to take even less than you want to give me because we had an unpleasant moment.
You scoffed at him.
Was he a scalper?
It seemed to be happening out in the open. That like before the game started, there were just people standing out there. I'm buying tickets.
Yeah.
Where are they? You know. It seemed to be, I mean, I assume he was going to turn around and sell them.
They're much more brazen, you know. Because I've seen it in concerts too, where they're just up front screaming they got tickets or they want tickets. And I don't know how they avoid. I don't know how they avoid the law in that sense. You know, when you're basically.
I guess it's legal to sell a ticket for the price printed on the ticket.
I don't know how that works.
We're not criminals.
Right.
Because if we were criminals, we'd all know the ins and outs of all that stuff.
I might have told this story before, but when I was a kid, like 12, I lived pretty close to War Memorial Stadium in Little Rock, where Razorbacks would play a couple of times a year, and I would go and scalp tickets with a friend, and people would either give us, sometimes they just give it to us because we were just cute kids looking for tickets, but then we would fucking resell it. We would keep upgrading and reselling all the way up until, because we did want to go to the game. So we'd keep the best tickets, find better tickets, sell the last tickets, all the way up to the game.
Nice. Oh, wow. You worked the system.
We did.
That's nice. I hate haggling.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not a haggler. I don't like it.
Yeah, I would avoid it. If I knew a country did that, I would probably not go there.
It always seems when I haggle that when they finally agree on the price, I've made a terrible mistake.
Yeah.
I never feel like I've gotten a good deal. And they try to make me feel like I got a good deal, which makes me even feel less.
Oh, right?
Like they're doing you a favor.
You're too happy
at
at the amount that we landed on. And I'm stupid. I know that the value of this, I doubled.
You like this leather jacket?
Oh, that is a nice leather jacket.
Yes, it's a triple stitch.
Triple stitch?
Triple stitch.
That's
both
good.
sides. A lot of these guys on this row, it'll be single stitch. You're lucky if they double stitch. They fall apart. You buy it, they fall apart in a month. Mine, you will die in this jacket.
You know, that's.
Can I talk to you for a second? Can I talk to you?
Well, these guys offering.
Can I just talk to you? He's offering triple stitch.
Okay, can you excuse us for 1 second?
No problem.
Okay.
You seem awfully impressed by this jacket. He's picking that up. He's seeing that you're impressed.
It's a nice looking jacket. Have you seen it?
Don't let on. Feel that.
Sorry, I had to move on to some other customers, but I had to move on to some other customers.
Can I speak with you for 1 second?
He really wants to talk to me again. Can I excuse us?
That's a high pressure tactic. He's gonna be here all day. He's trying to put the pressure, high pressure on you. Don't do it.
Okay.
This is our last. I forgot to tell you, this is the last one of these jackets that we have.
Really?
We'll come back tomorrow.
Can I
We
talk to
will
you?
not
Can I
be
talk to
here.
you for 1 second?
Okay, excuse us 1 second.
It's the last one. Wait, it's the last one. There's no way.
Triple stitch last one? That's the best.
No, he's got a truck full of them. I guarantee.
That's the only.
He's putting pressure on you.
I forgot to tell you, they do not make it like this anymore. Like, this is the old school, lots of work, handmade. Everything is factory these days. They fall apart, the buttons pop out.
Can I talk to you? I guarantee this was made by a fucking machine.
That is fancy.
Thousands of these made every hour. And
I'd like to introduce you to my wife. She makes
Hello. Oh my God! Look at her
Have
hands.
you been admiring the jacket?
Can I talk to you?
Would you look at it? Did you see her hands?
There is no fucking way that is his wife.
That's
There
her
is
hand.
no
Did you
fucking
see?
look at him.
That
You
poor
can't get a
woman.
woman like that. This is a lie.
She's beautiful,
Excuse
but have
me.
you seen her hands?
I must
Yes.
make out with my wife for a moment.
Oh, he's gonna kiss her.
Yes, we must.
Can I talk to you? He is laying
I'm
on
un-
so.
I'm uncomfortable the way her little claw-like hands are coaxing me.
All right, honey, I will see you at lunch.
I need a jacket. I need a jacket. What am I? I'm sorry.
All right,
Okay, my friend.
it's almost lunchtime, so I tell you what.
Can I talk to you?
I'm
for-
feeling.
Hold on, talk to you
Hear
for
it-
1 second.
hear him
It's
out.
not
Hear-
lunchtime. Look at your watch.
What?
Look at your watch.
I mean, lunchtime is a gap
It's
between 12 and
1 to
3.
30. That's
Okay.
a little late to have lunch.
What am I doing? In this country, they sleep on the streets.
I tell you, it's a good day.
Okay.
It's my
Here he goes. He's
wife
gonna-
and I's anniversary.
He's making a deal because it's their anniversary.
I will offer you this jacket for $3.
Can I
Three
talk to you?
American
Okay,
dollars.
Okay, hold on. $3 for an authentic triple stitch leather jacket made by hand by that woman?
You offer him 10 cents.
10 cents? 10 cents?
More than 10 cents.
An animal died for this. I feel guilty just taking on from the. This man is poor. Look at he's in a
You
hovel.
are a born sucker if you thought this thing is worth anywhere near $3.
Okay.
Why would he open with that if he thought it was worth anywhere near it?
You're right. You're right. He's
My
coming in
wife
strong.
just pointed out to me that it is a holiday, and
It's a holiday.
in our country, it's bad luck to offer a price that is an odd number.
Okay, this is
So
a
I will
country.
give you
Yes.
$2. $2.
$2 for an authentic triple stitch leather
Can I
jacket
talk
made
to
by
you?
hand.
I will give you.
I need to. Hold on. I
You
really.
got it right where you want
Two
to
down.
negotiate
Yeah.
with himself at this point.
So I'm supposed to drop it.
Hold down. Yes, don't
Okay.
go down.
Okay.
Go down.
I'll give you 10 cents. 10 cents. That's my final offer for this piece of crap jacket. Yeah. We'll take this shit off your hands and throw in your wife. 10 cents. The whole thing for 10
We'll
cents.
take the light too.
Yeah. We'll take the whole thing for 10 cents.
Deal. We cut back to their hotel room after a big day of shopping.
I am hungry.
Would you please? I'm trying to try this jacket on. It doesn't fit right. I don't
See
understand.
that?
This is weird.
Aren't you glad you didn't pay $3?
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
got me, you said everyone in your house eats well, even the dogs. But
Right.
You have not fed me.
You're not going to stay in our house. You're going to be chained out to the back on the car bumper.
You were just really a negotiation point.
I can't-
don't think we really expected to come home.
Right. It was like a deal, but we're going to let you go. We're going to let you go after you make some dinner. Can those hands make food?
Insane. To the car bumper. So you drive off with her tied to it?
No. Parked in the driveway. It's parked. We might forget her and drive away without her, but it wouldn't be
It's
intentional.
gonna happen.
Wouldn't be intentional.
It's risky.
I like living life on the edge.
What's Periscope saying, Alan? Can you talk on Periscope? Can they send messages?
Yeah.
Little speech balloons, right?
Yeah, they're doing a lot of hearts right now.
Hard.
How many people are watching? Can't be more than 30.
So there's been like 1,000 connections throughout. Right now, there's 34 watching.
That's not telling.
34? What happened?
Let's lean on that 1,000.
They go in and out. And they
We
keep.
had like 2K last time.
Yeah, there's two. There's gonna end up being like 2K, like connecting throughout, but they go in and out.
But didn't you tell me they were unique last time,
Mhm.
Kevin? They go in and out. That means they get bored.
There's short attentions, you know.
There's more people on Facebook Live.
Really?
Yeah.
What's Facebook Live saying?
Kevin, do you know?
What are people saying, or how many people are watching?
Are they giving us intro questions?
Someone asked, what is your dream that has always stuck with you? Have you ever been disappointed in a hero? Have you ever told a white lie that quickly got out of hand?
I'll do a quick thing of a dream that I've never forgotten. You remember the show Heart to Heart? This is
Robert Wagner.
Robert Wagner and Stephanie Powers, right? Is that her name, Stephanie Powers? As a kid, I had a very, very erotic dream. But I don't remember the details of the dream. I just remember waking up and being in love with Stephanie Powers. And I don't remember any specifics of the dream other than I fell in love, and that always stayed with me. That was the most powerful dream I ever had, and I fell in love with a woman that I watched. And I'm not in love with her now.
But you didn't marry a Stephanie.
I did marry Stephanie. Oh my God, that is very
Holy shit.
very interesting.
Is that the only reason you're in love with Stephanie?
Pretty much. I made her change her last name to Powers too.
I had something happen to me when I was a child that seemed so insane and impossible, but I went to, oh, I have another answer to this question too. But I went to sleep one night, and my experience of it was literally that I closed my eyes and opened them, and it was morning. Like, you know what I mean? Like, absolutely, completely, in every way, I went like this, and it was morning. It was really weird.
That's an abduction.
You think I was abducted by aliens?
Yeah, that's usually what they say. They don't remember anything. Were you dropped off in a field? Were you just wake up in a field naked?
You said you had another one.
I had one. I had a terrible fever once, and I remembered. The first thing I remember from this fever is that I was lying straight in bed, and my toes were up at the end of the bed, and they started moving closer to my body in a really weird way. And then the other thing I remember is that there were these people in the room who I can still see exactly what they look like. I called them black and white men. I think they were modeled after that. You remember that Star Trek episode with the people with, who were half black, except that they were sort of modeled more like cow-like, like some parts were black and some parts were white. But they were in like creepy, tight-fitting bodysuits like that, like Star Trek. Maybe there was a little Riddler in there too. But anyway, they were all over the house and they were coming for me. And I 100% saw them and believed that they were there and was running around the house going, "The black and white men are trying to get me."
How old were you?
I was probably like 5. If that happened to one of my kids, like had a fucking fever hallucination, we'd be in the car to the hospital.
Sure.
But I think my parents were just like,
Let it burn off. Let it burn off.
Yeah. Freaky.
I saw in a half awake state in our old house, a woman float up to the. Again, I was half awake. It was like when it was twilight, that kind of thing, where I was like half. And I don't remember if I saw it or was I just thinking it. But I saw a woman float to the end of our bed and kind of look over at me, and then moved over to Steph and pointed at her. And I woke up. And Steph loves that kind of stuff, so of course I told her about it, and she was like, "Oh my God, it's great, it's fantastic." But then I had another dream where there was this figure floating around, and there's not much to that story other than I saw, again, half awake, a figure floating by. I don't believe in ghost stuff. My grandmother did, but and so does my mom, I think. But they're usually substance induced.
With ghosts.
At least if I were to go back to the history books, that might have been a connecting factor in some of the things that they claim to see.
If this became a problem in your house, who would you go and call?
Oh. Is this a blatant tie-in? I don't know if I would call anybody to exercise, to exercise our house.
No,
Can you come into the ghost conference room?
Into the ghost conference room?
Yeah. Just float on in here with me.
Absolutely.
Okay.
What's going on?
We're having a little problem with your hauntings lately.
Oh.
I've been monitoring you. They seem a little abstract.
I'm not free to interpret how I'm going to haunt somebody. We've talked about this. What is your problem?
But you have to have a point to your haunting. You can't just. I watched you last night. You flew down to this couple's bed.
Yeah.
You flew over
It was a good one last night.
feet for a while,
Yeah.
and then he was in like a twilight sleep, and he woke up and you pointed at his wife.
Yes, I did.
What did that mean? What do you have to do with that couple?
What do I have to do with them?
Hauntings are supposed to. You're supposed to go back to someone you know or someplace you used to be. This just completely
So
seemed like.
predictable.
And I watched him like, I'm
It's
gonna
the
give him a
old way to do
second.
it. You know, like I'm gonna go back to the house I was murdered in,
Right.
Or whatever.
Have you been back there, by the way?
I'm not going back to the house I was murdered in.
You really need to get back there.
First of all, scary. I don't want to be there again. I have a lot of trauma associated with that place. And secondly, it's just been done. It's been done and done and done. It's just boring. I go to someone who doesn't expect it because there's no connection between me and them. And then what's scarier than somebody doing something that doesn't make any sense?
It makes no sense. You're making these people go crazy. But hauntings are supposed to be a point, like leave this house or.
Later that night, maybe I just get some sleep. All right, I'm gonna try to get a half sleep because I want to see this thing again.
Okay, honey, you're scaring me more than
What?
I think you're too obsessed with this. I think it's just the wind or something.
The
or
wind?
shadows.
You were sleeping like you always do.
Everyone in the block sleeps at this time of night.
Not me. I'm half awake. I'm in the twilight. It's a special place. I like to sleep and I like to see. I think there's a message. I think he's trying to tell us something.
Okay.
Go to sleep. Boy, how do you do that? How do you just turn it off like that? All right, I'm going to sleep. All right, let's see. Another way. Are you doing poetry? What?
What'd you think? Did you watch last night's?
I did watch last night, and I feel like you know I love Sinatra, so you were doing that for me.
Little tribute.
But what did it have to do with that guy? I looked up his history. He's never even been in New York.
I didn't know that. I don't know anything about that guy. I
You're
realize.
too young to like Sinatra.
Oh yeah.
Don't you see people are going to misinterpret this stuff and it's going to affect their lives?
Oh, that's a problem? I mean, what's scarier than something that has no reason to happen?
Back to the couple.
Jennifer, we're moving to New York.
Why? You've always said you hate New York.
I hate New York. I've never been. I don't know. The ghost told me to go to New York. It was so clear. He finally sent the message that I was waiting for.
What does toddling even mean?
It means, I don't know, rolling around uncertainly. I don't know.
I don't want to toddle at our age. It's time for us to have a child.
Oh, why have a child that toddles when we haven't toddled ourselves? Let's get out there. Come on, I packed up all your stuff in this little bag. We don't need any of this stuff. From what I understand is if you can make it there, you can make it just about anywhere.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
What?
I'm going to sleep.
There she goes again. All right. I'll let her sleep. Whoa.
Beep, bop, boo, ba, 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 beep, bop, boo, ba, ba. Bing, 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 bing. Pork.
Last night you were just scatting.
Yeah.
I hate scatting.
Uh-huh.
It's the worst excuse
Well, you know,
for
I
music.
felt a little pandery yesterday with the Sinatra stuff, so I thought, you know. And
You have-
it's just more interesting to be challenging.
All right. I put my foot down. I'm going to send you straight to hell.
What?
Unless you work this out with this guy tonight. No more abstract bullshit. You got to speak directly to him.
Oh, man.
Tell him what's going on. And then I want you to get to the house you've been murdered in.
Oh, awful.
Sweetheart, those were great pork chops tonight. Thank you for making them.
Oh, I'm glad you like them.
And now we gotta listen to Sun Ra because that's what I think he was telling me. That boop bop bleep bop. I think that's Sun Ra, right? In his orchestra. Come on, let's listen to it.
About that, isn't that reggae?
Reggae. Go to sleep. There she goes. Hey.
Hello, I am a ghost, and I have been practicing as an abstract ghost, and that's my mission. It feels like it's my work, it's my oeuvre.
This is you're conversing with me.
Yeah, but it has not been appreciated, and so I have been told I need to stop. I need to work in a more literal framework.
No.
I need to be more clear. You don't need to go to New York. You don't need to listen to any particular album or anything like that.
Oh, my wife's waking
Who
up.
is this guy?
Oh, this is the ghost I was telling you about. Sweetheart, this is him.
Do not lie to me. Are you cheating on me?
Jennifer, no, he's
Yes.
what?
You're cheating on me.
Oh, you're like one of those incubuses, right? He has sex with me at night. It's not consensual.
Having an affair.
It's not consensual.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. I mean, it was right there. You know, I had to. I mean, that's interesting, isn't it? To make her think that she's having an affair.
Now she's gonna leave him.
I could not resist. That was exciting to get to do that to a couple.
We cut. Now this couple is dating the corporal man and the ghost man after the divorce.
It wasn't exactly a meet cute.
Fancy.
Working out.
Meet cute. That's such a weird phrase. I saw that used in an old movie the other day that I was just flipping by. Like, that doesn't seem like something they would say within the movie, does it?
It's a little too, like, inside, right?
I know, it was weird. It was black and white.
Oh, wow, because that's fun.
What time is it, Alan? I lost track.
2:47.
Holy shit, only time for one more scene. Bob, you want a word, an intro question, or a video?
Let's let's do a video.
Let's do a video.
All
Strap
right.
on YouTube and end it up.
Alex Jones declares war on juice boxes.
On what?
Juice.
Juice boxes.
Juice
Not
boxes?
juice
Okay,
boxes.
because with Alex Jones, you can go.
Yeah.
He's opening up a juice box. That's what gay people do?
Immediately.
He argued against his own point.
What?
Like he said that juice boxes were to make people gay
Well, that's
so
what
they
he-
would stop having babies.
Oh.
And then he just said you're ready to go out and make a baby.
I
See,
think
yeah.
It's
Well,
feminizing
he doesn't
us.
understand what happens when a man. He doesn't get it. See, Alex Jones, he's the guy that gleans the slightest amount of truth and then runs with it in some sort of conspiratorial way. In fact, he's a guy that gives conspiratorial ideas a bad name. Because that conspiracy usually goes to the far side of.
Well, one of those sounded true. Like it's something that could have no MSG in it, but there's an ingredient that itself contains MSG. I heard that, and I was like, oh, I wonder if that's true.
I think it's while I'd like to believe that it was a giant conspiracy to change us all into effeminate men. I mean, I don't know if I'd like that to believe that, but there's some whatever. The point is that he's not looking at it's just corporate America. I believe that there's lining, that there's stuff in our food and all that, but I think it's this complete corporate negligence on who's given when we give our corporate money, our money to corporations, and make them grow stronger. At some point, they will not be good for us. And I'll stand by that.
So there's plastic lining inside a juice box that is somehow giving us more that is somehow giving us estrogen.
That's his claim.
That's his claim.
But I do think that there's harmful
Sure, there's
chemicals
plastic lining in those
in.
things, and maybe we don't really know what it is.
Sometimes there's mold in those Capri Sun bags and that stuff. I believe the more processed the food is, the more likely that you're going to be consuming something that's maybe you shouldn't. But do I think it's a global conspiracy? No, that's kind of a time waster. Just don't buy a juice box and live your life. Maybe filter some water and drink that.
Would you give a juice box to your dog?
My dog. Only if it was raw. I don't know. Like he's basically rallying on something that you can make a choice not to make, but he's claiming that we're too ignorant to know the truth. And I just think we're too ignorant to think that the corporate world would affect us that way. But my question would be, if buyer beware is the guideline in our society, why wouldn't the corporations do something that was cheaper and more effectual?
Why is it so cold in here? These movie theaters are always so cold.
Sure they are. You know why? Would you like to know why? Movie theater.
Yeah, I do.
Why so cold?
Excuse me, the movie's about to start. I'm here to watch the movie.
Well, actually, you might want to lean in because what I'm about to say is a lot more important than anything you're going to see on that screen. They keep the movie theaters so cold so that people who are in between turning from men into women because of the estrogen in the food can wear heavy jackets, and it's not apparent that they're transitioning biologically from men into women because of the diet
and this is something that the Department of Agriculture and the government is well aware of and is doing to us, is feminizing the culture. And so this is part of it. We got to make public spaces cold so people can wear heavy coats and no one notices. Keep us in the dark, literally and figuratively. That's why a movie theater is cold.
That is quite some train of thought right there. That really.
These are facts.
That's where I can't even. Wow. You know what? I'm just going to take that as face value.
Okay, good. Well, then that's not enough. You got to then do something about it.
Should I not eat this popcorn?
The stupidest thing you could possibly eat.
But it's delicious.
Is that popcorn? Sure.
Why are there always so many unpopped kernels at the bottom?
That's something I'd like them to solve. Sure. I like my popcorn fully popped. Do you have any insight on that?
Do I have insight on that?
Yeah.
I know why it's happening. I have the government documents that back it up, that fully explain the program.
Oh.
Phase 1 of the program is to take away our guns. Phase 2 is to take away our knives. And then Phase 3 is to make our fingers fall out. Phase 4 is to chip away at our teeth so we cannot bite. It's all part of the government's plan to neutralize the public. And then once you got a
part of the
public,
chip away at your teeth part of the plan.
that's what the unpopped kernels are about. Once you have a public that cannot shoot or stab or strangle or bite, you can safely declare martial law.
That makes.
What happens?
I have the documents.
What happens to the trash that we leave on the ground? When people leave movie theaters, often they don't bother to clean up. They just leave the trash where it is.
Sticky and they get garbage. What's that all? What's it?
Well, I'll tell you what that's about. I have the documents that lays out the entire program.
He's got the document.
The stickiness on the floor of a movie theater. Have you noticed it's gotten worse over the years?
I have.
Okay, that's what they're doing. It's building up over time, and it's timed perfectly to the moment when the government is prepared to declare martial law.
They're really going to do that.
At that point, people who are attending a movie at that point will not be able to leave. They will be stuck to the floor of the movie theater. We will be sitting here like fish in a barrel.
It's insidious.
They'll all be transitioning.
And
while they're stuck.
At that point, there will be women. Men will be giving birth to babies. No one will have any teeth or fingers or guns or knives. It'll be fish in a barrel.
No one will have any teeth?
It's because we're
Because of the kernels and all the various other. You don't think the government is feeding you hard foods on purpose?
About 20 years later, we cut to a sushi restaurant. Waiter?
Yes?
I think I ordered the mystery fish. And it has, I'm upset by a few things.
Okay.
It has teeth.
Okay.
Which one, like human teeth.
Yeah.
Which I've only read about. So I'm a little disturbed to see human teeth.
Yeah, right.
For a few reasons.
Humans
don't have teeth anymore.
No, we do not.
And 2, I don't want to eat humans when I think I'm eating fish. And 3, I'm against abortion. So yes, they're humans.
I can address all of your concerns. Okay. This is a human that was pulled out of a cold place where it was frozen. So this is roughly 50 to 100 years old.
Wait, this is chiseled out of a glacier or something?
That's where we're getting our fish now.
These things are freshly chiseled out of glaciers. Okay, we found a whole iceberg. It's melting, and it turned out that there was a bunch of fetuses in there. You sell them as fish, but do me a favor. I'll tell you once, I'll tell you twice. Yes. Take out the teeth.
And St. Fetus Glacier has to be the name of this episode. Humans. Bob Dassie, do you do Twitter?
I do.
Where do you want to be found, social media wise?
Let's say Weird Ass Improv at Weird Ass Improv.
There you go.
That's sort of stuff I live.
What about you, Andy Daly? When is review coming out?
I don't know. We made a third and final season of review. We're editing it right now, and I don't know. I hope it's on the air sometime in
2016.
Okay.
I can't wait.
There you go, Humans.
local listing.
Humans, rate us on iTunes. Give us a review. And have I told you about Thank You, Dell? Do you know about this documentary?
Is this on the DCM?
It's called Thank You, Dell, the story of the Dell Close Marathon. It's about Dell and his marathon that honors him. And it's now on CISO.com, Bob.
That's fantastic.
And you can see that for free. The first month's free. CISO.com.
I'm going to go to CISO.
And then after that, it's really cheap, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Exactly,
like
that
it's
first
like
month.
$3.99 a month. And you can see the UCB show. You see my special, Best Breaks the Record.
How old is the DCM now?
I
18
believe we're
years, right?
coming up on 19 next year.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
If Dell died now, it'd be okay. It wouldn't be as sad. He'd be in his 80s.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's I love because I was at the first few,
Mhm.
and to see what it is now is
It's
just
immense.
it's amazing. It's really
crazy.
amazing. It's great. It really is.
Check it out,
Congrats.
Bob.
I love it.
All right, keep being human. Tell us when you're off.